Hey everyone, welcome back to your English class. Students, today we will be continuing our second chapter of the supplementary book Moments, which is titled as The Adventures of Toto, and it is written by Ruskin Bond. So students, as you all know, in our first part of this story, we have read about a mischievous monkey named Toto who destroys everything to escape himself from binding and even being considered as a disturbing element for other companions. Grandfather decided to take him along to Saharanpur. So let us read further to know what happened next in the story. The poor man was taken aback, but with great presence of mind and much to grandfather's annoyance, he said, "Sir, you have a dog with you. You will have to pay for it accordingly." So here, this word annoyance, it means to anger someone. To anger someone. So here, the ticket collector was, surprised to see a monkey in grandfather's bag, and he recovered quickly and further asked to grandfather to pay the ticket money for traveling with a dog. Okay. In vain did grandfather take Toto out of the bag. In vain did he try to prove that a monkey did not qualify as a dog or even as a quadruped. Quadruped means here an animal which has 4 feet. An animal which has 4 feet. And second word given here, vain. Vain, it means an unsuccessful attempt. An unsuccessful attempt. So here grandfather was unsuccessful in explaining to the ticket collector that Toto was a monkey, not a dog. Even he insisted him that Toto was not even an animal with 4 feet. Okay. Toto was classified a dog by the ticket collector, and 3 rupees was the sum handed over as his fare. Fare means ticket price. Fare means here ticket price. So the ticket collector, he was not in the mood to agree, and he was determined that Toto fell in the category of dogs, and as a result grandfather had to pay rupees 3 for Toto's ticket. The grandfather, just to get his own back, took from his pocket our pet tortoise and said, "What must I pay for this, since you charge for all animals?" So here this phrase, to get his own back, it is an idiom, and it means to take revenge. It means to take revenge. So here as grandfather was very much disappointed with the behavior of the ticket collector, so he had decided to take revenge from the ticket collector, and in order to do that he took out his pet tortoise from his pocket, and he asked if he was supposed to buy a ticket for it too. Okay, the ticket collector looked closely at the tortoise, prodded with his forefinger, gave grandfather a pleased and triumphant look and said, "No charge, it is not a dog." Okay, so here prodded means pushed. Prodded means pushed. Triumphant means victory. Triumphant means victory. Okay. So here the ticket collector took a close look at the tortoise, and he pushed it slightly with his forefinger and further announced with pleasant look that grandfather was not required to buy a ticket for it, as it didn't fall in the category of a dog. Okay. Let's move on to the next paragraph given at page number 9. When Toto was finally accepted by grandmother, he was given a comfortable home in the stable, where he had for a companion the family donkey Nana. Here, stable means cattle shed. Stable means cattle shed. Okay. So here, the writer's grandmother finally came to know of Toto's presence in the house, and she allotted him a space in the stable along with the family donkey Nana. Okay, On Toto's first night in the stable, grandfather paid him a visit to see if he was comfortable. So, on the first night in the stable, grandfather visited Toto, and there, what he found, let us see what did he find there. To his surprise, he found Nana without apparent cause pulling at her halter and trying to keep her head as far as possible from a bundle of hay. Apparent means here visible. Apparent means here visible. Halter means here rope. Halter means here rope. Hay means dry grass. Dry grass. Okay. So what did he find? He found that Nana is feeling restless. He is pulling its rope in order to stay away from the heap of hay, heap of dry grass. Okay. Grandfather gave Nana a slap across her haunches and she jerked back, dragging Toto with her. He had fastened on to her long ears with his sharp little teeth. Haunches means here back. Haunches means here back. Dragging means pulling. Dragging means pulling. So here the grandfather, hit Nana on the back in order to stop it. And consequently, what happened? Nana jumped back with a jerk, and Toto was, dragged along with her because he was fixed onto her ears with his sharp teeth. And that's the reason Toto and Nana never became friends. This is the reason that they never became friends. Okay. A great treat for Toto during cold winter evenings was the large bowl of warm water given him by grandmother for his bath. So here in the winter season, it was a special experience, for Toto to have a warm bath in the large bowl given by grandmother. Okay, he would cunningly test the temperature with his hand, then gradually step into the bath, first one foot, then the other, as he had seen me doing, until he was into the water up to his neck. Cunningly means here cleverly. Cunningly means here cleverly. Okay, so here he would pretend to be clever, and before starting his bath he would check the temperature of the water, and then he would copy the writer to step into the tub with one foot at a time, and finally he would sit in the water with his face out of it. Okay. So students, let's move on to the next paragraph given here at page number 10. Once comfortable, he would take the soap in his hands or feet and rub himself all over. When the water became cold, he would get out and run as quickly as he could to the kitchen fire in order to dry himself. So here, once he would feel comfortable in the water, he would rub himself with soap. And when the water became cold, he would run out of it to the stove in the kitchen in order to dry himself. Okay, if anyone laughed at him during this performance, Toto's feeling would be hurt and he would refuse to go on with his bath. So in case during that performance, if anyone laughed upon him, he got annoyed and even he felt hurt and consequently refused to take bath. One day, Toto nearly succeeded in boiling himself alive. So here, the writer, recollects an incident when Toto had almost boiled himself. So what was that incident? Let us see in the next paragraph. A large kitchen kettle had been left on the fire to boil for tea, and Toto, finding himself with nothing better to do, decided to remove the lid. Kettle means here container. Kettle means here a container. Okay, so one day in a large kettle, water was boiling on the stove, and Toto climbed up to the stove, and what did he do? He removed the lid from it. Finding the water just warm enough for a bath, he got in with his head sticking out from the open kettle. So, as he felt that the water was warm enough for him to take a bath, he entered into the kettle with his head out of it. Okay. This was just fine for a while until the water began to boil. So when the water started boiling, it became hot for Toto. It became unbearable for Toto to stay there. Toto then raised himself a little, but finding it cold outside, sat down again. Now he thought of coming out of the kettle, but as the temperature outside was cold for him, he stayed in the kettle. He continued hopping up and down for some time until grandmother arrived and hauled him half boiled out of the kettle. Hopping means here jumping. Hopping means here jumping. Hauled means here pulled. Hauled means here pulled. So Toto, kept on jumping in the kettle for a while, and it was continued, until the writer's grandmother arrived that side and took the half-boiled monkey out of the kettle. Okay. If there is a part of the brain especially devoted to mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. So here the narrator is saying that if there is a part in our brain, that governs our ability to create mischief, then that part in Toto's brain was, highly developed, as he had great capacity to do mischief. Okay, he was always tearing things to pieces. Whenever one of my aunts came near him, he made every effort to get hold of her dress and tear a hole in it. So here narrator is telling us that he always, Toto always engaged in the mischief, like to tear the things into pieces. And whenever the writer's aunts, passed by him, he tried to tear their dresses. So let us see what is given here in this paragraph. One day at lunchtime, a large dish of pulao stood in the center of the dining table. So here the writer recollects another incident when Toto created a lot of mischief. Okay, at lunchtime a dish of rice was placed on the dining table. So what did he do with that? Let us see. We entered the room to find Toto stuffing himself with rice. So stuffing means here eating a lot. Stuffing means here eating a lot. So when all family members reached to take lunch, they found that Toto was eating the pulao putting on the dining table. When grandfather arrived, Toto picked up the dish of pulao and made his exit through a window. So when grandfather arrived that side, Toto left the place. He moved from that place through a window with the dish of rice along with him. We found him in the branches of the jackfruit tree, the dish still in his arms. He remained there all afternoon, eating slowly through the rice, determined on finishing every grain. So, as Toto went out and found to be set on a branch of the jackfruit tree, he remained there for the entire afternoon and, determined to eat all the rice. And then, in order to spite grandmother who had screamed at him, he threw the dish down from the tree and chattered with delight when it broke into 100 pieces. Spite means here hurt. Spite means here hurt. Chattered means here sound produced by the monkey. Sound produced by the monkey. So as the grandmother had screamed on him, he wanted to annoy her, he wanted to hurt her further, and so for that after eating the rice, he threw the dish and broke it into several pieces. Okay, students, let's move on to the last paragraph of this story. Obviously Toto was not the sort of pet we could keep for long. Even grandfather realized that. So finally, grandfather realized that Toto was not suitable, to be kept at home. Okay, we were not well-to-do and couldn't afford the frequent loss of dishes, cloths, curtains, and wallpaper. So grandfather found the Tonga driver and sold Toto back to him for only 3 rupees. So narrator is here narrator explained the reason behind that, and it was like that they couldn't afford the frequent losses that Toto gave them, like he tore cloths, curtains, wallpapers, and broke dishes because they are not as much rich. So the grandfather decided to return Toto back to the same Tonga driver for a sum of rupees 3. Okay. So, students, what message did we get from this story? This story gives a message about animal rights and animal welfare. It tells us that we should love animals, we should also treat them with respect. As grandfather at the end of this story realized that being a wild animal, the monkey creates a lot of trouble, and he decided that the monkey would be more happier with the Tonga driver. So with this we get one more message from this story, and it is we should let them stay, we should let wild animals to stay in their natural habitat. Okay.